Blizzard is using Season of Discovery to introduce new WoW lore. Bellular's a bit late to this party because I already got a YouTube video out about this. But I want to see if he discovered anything I didn't, because Xal'atath is showing up in the Season of Discovery. And I talked about this already, that Season of Discovery could be used as an alternate timeline to current retail WoW, and one that could be acknowledged in retail if Xal'atath hops between the two. Now, why would she do that, you ask? Well, there happens to be a patch called Dark Heart coming out soon, and it looks like Xal'atath is gathering pieces of the other old gods. There's one piece in particular that doesn't really exist in our world anymore, the Heart of Y'Shaarj, because Mr. Garrosh destroyed it. But it does exist in an alternate timeline where Mists of Pandaria has yet to happen. Enter SOD. Let's see what Bellular has to say here.
Time to talk about Xal'atath again, but in a different form because she's in the past.
Yes, this has been something that's been brewing.
Time-running pandemonium. Don't forget that one.
Basically, Season of Discovery's got quite a lot of lore, as it turns out.
It does, and obviously it's vanilla. Vanilla had a little lore, but no, new lore.
Dark Heart, like a pirate flag.
It's not super massive. It's not like some Revelation stuff. It's not.
What's up?
Oh my God, they've retconned the game. It's. Oh,
we all know it's
that's
pirates,
cool.
guaranteed.
That's interesting. Can we take anything from this? And as I was
let me move my frame so you guys can actually see them.
There was a little bit of thing that no one else has seemed to bother picking up on. And maybe this is because people who, like us, who are speculating in lore, don't have the mental energy to play Season of Discovery. But there's something that's so unbelievably relevant that no one has mentioned except Jared to me. It's kind of shocking.
Oh.
And with that little teaser, let's move into the segment.
What's he going to say?
Shadowy figure. It's a Void Walker, but an elf with a dagger.
Doing their best with their limited assets.
Is that our Zally girl?
Get it across.
Yeah.
So context so everybody understands.
Yeah, full context. This is part of the Void Touch crafting quest line.
Right.
Where you need to be, I think it's tailoring, leatherworking, or blacksmithing at 100. Then you kill which of the bosses in BFD? I forget. One of the bosses, anyway, drops a breadcrumb that starts this whole thing, and you have to do this complicated quest with like some sort of secret finding element to it as well. So, but anyway, you get through all your stuff, you get through all your things, and you meet this shadowy figure. You're on the quest. You have this thing called the box. So what happens is
the box.
This dead Twilight cultist that you speak to through esoteric magical means says, then she came. She visited me in my dreams, showed me the box. It changed things, made them better, stronger, such wonders. But the box, it was hungry. No idea the cost. No time. You must finish it. Find it, the box. Somehow it won't stay lost. Not forever. Which is reminiscent of a certain dagger. He can't be allowed to find it. I wonder who he is. I think I understand, but if you couldn't destroy it, how can I? The opposite of the void. The opposing force. Light. Hope. Big plosive in that hope.
Yeah, interesting.
So you go and I'll explain how you destroy the mystery box. But when you do, all that remains of the box is a tiny sliver of perfectly black crystal.
Yes.
It seems to draw in and consume
the light.
Which is interesting.
When you hear consume the light, you do imagine that, the void, of course. That's what you think of when you think of something that consumes light. It's probably void powered. A piece of void, whatever it is. But it is very interesting the way she talks about this box. And how made them better, stronger. No time. You must find it. Finish it. Find it. The box. Somehow it won't stay lost. Not forever. He can't be allowed to find it. Who's he? What is this? It's very interesting. And who is he? Who is he referring to? And the crazy thing about it is like, okay, you get rid of this box. Well, it says it won't stay lost. It keeps being rediscovered.
I've never seen anything talk specifically about void stuff as consuming light, which is all very relevant. And this is our theory about midnight is definitely true now. You've destroyed the box.
It's definitely true.
You should feel relief, but you feel a sense of unease. It's as if you are being watched.
Yes.
So,
enter Xal'atath.
This is when you go to destroy the box. I'll tell you where you go soon. This shadowy figure is there. And this shadowy figure is Xal'atath for sure.
Yeah.
I'll explain my reasoning. Number one, it's an elf with a dagger. It's shadowy. What do you mean?
Yeah.
It can't be anything else. It can be, but from the storytelling conceit, it only makes sense being Xal'atath. How that physically makes sense is because Xal'atath at that point in time was in dagger form, and she had been lost. This is, I believe, this is decently after the artifact weapon story of the dwarf priest lady.
Oh yeah.
So this is Xal'atath spent a long time before Legion started. A long time and after.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Xal'atath in the lore has been around since way before Legion. Xal'atath was around when the Zandalari Empire ruled the world. She completely corrupted one of them, had them do an execution, and led to the whole bug people being born. The origin of the Nerubians and everybody came during that time, and that was all because of Xal'atath. That's why she's been around forever. So her showing up in this timeline at this time, it totally makes sense. She was long before Legion, like he's saying. He's saying before Legion. She was around before Classic.
Her being lost under the sea.
She will fulfill the final prophecy.
Agents forever, ages ago. But anyway, she was basically been handed around different wielders, and she was influencing them to do her bidding.
Yeah.
We know absolutely nothing of that.
When she shows up as the dagger in Legion, she has done this many times before. Now she talks about her time in Legion with the wielder, whoever the Shadow Priest is that has the weapon. She talks about how fond she is of the Shadow Priest, you, the player, and how much you've done and how powerful you now are and everything. She talks about previous people that have wielded her that, fell short of her plans, weren't able to do what she wanted. And usually what she would do is she would get that person killed so another person could find her and pick her up and continue on with her plans. And in Legion, she found a very powerful person, the player character, and they were able to complete a lot of her goals, leading on to what eventually would be her appearance in Dragonflight and Battle for Azeroth and everything else.
Here's the story of when she drove a priest mad. We picked her up. This is all blank. They're filling that in very, very, very gently and very carefully. So she, and also the point I wanted to say is, we'll go through her dialogue, but her dialogue's pretty telling of who she is.
The dagger can poof away whenever it wants to. Yeah. A cinematic. Rathian stabbing N'Zoth. All of a sudden he looks at his hand, he's like, where the hell's the dagger? She has the ability to disappear from our sight. Most definitely. And then reappear when most opportune, when the right person shows up.
That I can do for you.
It's definitely
Sounds like her.
I'm quite sure I don't want anything from whatever it is. Don't you? I wouldn't be so sure. The bauble you have there, the black crystal, is something special. Something that shouldn't be wasted, sitting at the bottom of your pack along with bloody rags and crumbs of stale bread. I can tell you how to use it, how to harness it. It should be destroyed, not used.
That's one thing Xal'atath always offers is power.
Even this wee Tisk. There you go, being entirely boring again. This is Xal'atath. This is Xal'atath.
Yeah, even the personality.
I'm starting to think that
maybe
this wasn't such a good idea. Fine, do as you will. Cast it into the fires of Blackrock or deep into the maelstrom. Make sure it's thoroughly lost. See, though, these things don't tend to stay lost forever.
That's right. That's such a cool line. These things don't tend to stay lost forever. She's basically telling him, your attempt to thwart me by just throwing me away or losing me somewhere, I'll just find another who's willing to take on this power.
My point is that you don't know who's going to find it. I can think of no more stalwart, heroic, or just a noble creature than yourself to bear it and take advantage of its gift.
Yes.
I can show you. Snap of the fingers, and I can show you how to use it to make something truly special. You'd only stay the word. And then, fine, show me, if only to stop your prattling. She puts a memory in your head that's not very nice, but you have it. Excellent, I've left my mark on you. And then stuff
like the
about
mark on N'Zoth
farewell
kind of
adventure, go destroy evil or whatever it is you lot do. It's got that sass, it's got that little fuck sake Xal'atath stuff.
Fuck sake.
Start goddess.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly
Primus.
that kind of dialogue where she knows what she's on about. So now this is
I actually think Xal'atath is one of the few entities out there that is not related to the Primus anyway. The Primus is aligned with the Titans. Those things go back and forth. The Void, no, I don't think so. Anything related to it, which is definitely Xal'atath.
Xal'atath, they've completely covered, completely makes sense. So this is the part that's actually more important. And it's a direct lead into stuff that we're going to see in the War Within that no one else has picked up on for some reason. The Shard of Pure Light. I've seen people talk about Xal'atath and show pictures, but no one said, here's a big fucking light rock behind her, by the way.
Oh.
That's new.
Shit, I didn't know that.
She must just be so beautiful they can't see that behind her. So
There's
the
a
point of that
shard
is,
of pure light behind
it's a
him?
shard of pure light. It's a rock. Where did it come from?
Interesting. Maybe this is like what's in Hallowfall. This giant light crystal. What the hell is this? A shard of pure light. What if that's what's in Hallowfall? Just a shard of pure light that fell from the sky. Oh, wow. This is interesting.
The sky. Here's Ardell Dralta, because basically the point is there's these two, one alliance, one horde people who lead you, who tell you where the shard of pure light is in a roundabout way, as kind of like a storytelling thing. So we had this location is behind the Ravenholt Manor. It is correct, Hard. I am Ardell Dralta of the Argent Dawn. I've just been dispatched from Chilwyn Camp to investigate reports. We've received an enormous light wreath stone that seems to have fallen from the sky somewhere in the mountains of Alterac.
Oh, of that.
I believe I saw the light coming from, etc., etc., etc. Just there we saw it. And the same with Brave Stone Torch.
Oh, what is she saying? I'm downtown the Argent Dawn. I've been dispatched from Chilwyn Camp to investigate reports we've received of an enormous light wreath stone that seems to have fallen from the sky somewhere in the Alterac Mountains. Oh, shit. So this shard of light fell from the sky, much like the Arathi people describe, or the people of Hallowfall describe their dream says. Right? The people of Hallowfall, they ended up there because they had a dream that a shooting star or a falling star fell to the earth, and then they came and they found Hallowfall, where this giant shard of light is hanging from the ceiling. Oh, I wonder if these... See, these two things I feel like are not unrelated. I really feel like Blizzard is merging Season of Discovery with retail and kind of tying the lore together through Xal'atath, who has the ability, evidently, to travel around. You know, move between timelines, maybe.
Appears to be a warrior with devotion aura. So an early Sunwalker in the best way.
An early Sunwalker. According to Reddit, his dialogue about believing the shard to be a tear from the Earth Mother herself. What, are we talking about a loon now or something? Oh, Azeroth, I guess, maybe the Earth Mother. Commenting on the NPC page quotes, I come here seeking knowledge of a brilliant white stone that some say fell from the sky and came to rest in the hills over yonder.
Canon, the classic engine.
Yep.
According to Reddit, he has dialogue about people
This is getting
believing the
very
shard to be a
interesting.
tear from the Earth Mother herself, which is interesting.
Alterac
Why would the
Mountains
light
and
be
entrance to
a tear from the
Khazad
mother?
are confirmed.
And he also says, a brilliant white stone that
Thought I was going to miss raid tonight, then I remember that's it's just 3 hours.
Where
of
else
free.
has a big light rock?
You're
that's
just in
fallen from the
time.
sky?
Oh, look.
It's Hallowfall.
And
That's
also
a big light
Ashbringer.
rock.
I'm saying it, man.
Ashbringer as well, because Ashbringer was in the same region, and it was a little void. It was a little void crystal that consumed light.
This is
And
pretty wild.
The creation of Ashbringer was,
Damn.
at least the stone in Ashbringer, was that, and you can see this in game, in the old Hellsprout, I believe. The little void crystal that was terrible and horrifying, and no one knew what to do with it. The paladins took it and went, "We need to destroy this. This is horrible."
Yeah.
And they just went bam, 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 and cast all of the light magic they possibly could into it. And this was like,
And it was just
I can't remember
consuming
who
the
was all
light,
there,
right?
but all of like the proper paladin order back
Yeah.
in the day, just zapped this thing with so much light, and then it exploded into this big light crystal and went, "Well, that's convenient."
And what's left whenever you destroy the box. And
Tiny
void
void
crystal.
obviously the
Yeah.
whole
That
Shit.
consumes light.
long lost brethren thing from Xal'atath.
It's getting
talking
very
about the
interesting.
Yeah, so this is where we're at. We've got a big fucking rock of light in Season of Discovery. The Xal'atath is hanging around near, watching you destroy the box off it, going, here is a little void thing that consumes light, which is just like the Ashbringer crystal. And the Ashbringer crystal, of course, being rumored to be a sliver of an arrow, or some part of an arrow, because that's what the Naru do. They have that void,
Yep.
they have that light
Right,
cycle.
right.
And now we have in Hallowfall, in War Within, we have a giant light crystal that turns the void that fell thousands of years ago from the sky and embedded itself into
Yeah,
the crust.
according
and
to
then
the people of
Arathi went down
Hallowfall.
and started worshipping it because they
Alien.
they saw visions to actually go and see it, go and help it, or go do something with it. So there's an awful lot of how do I describe this? Awful lot of stuff we don't know in regards to why, but this is very much light
Well,
crystals that are void, that absorb void or
did
other.
Alone make the Prime Naru?
That's irrelevant. Please don't think about that. Fuck off. Basically.
Sorry.
Yeah. Don't talk about Loon. They'll talk about Loon when they're ready. I don't want to think about her because there's nothing we can go on that doesn't suck ass.
Is this a sore spot?
It is, yes.
There we go.
It is because I don't know
Tears
how
of a
they'll
loon.
make it
I mean,
good, basically.
described as a
Yeah,
tear.
like-
I don't know.
That's the thing that I wonder about the light.
Tear from the Earth Mother.
Like, all that we know of the light is crystal boys. Is that it?
Yeah,
think
there's
so.
clearly
What
going to
else
be
is up?
there's going to be something at the top of
Or
that
is it just
chart.
going to be like, oh, we got a pantheon of, there's, 4 to 8 people being things that rule everything.
I don't know. Like, there's a thing about this whole light magic that's occurring in Hallowfall, and I've talked about this before, is that it radiates heat, right? These blimps are powered by this light. It's radiating heat. This crystal itself looks like it's radiating heat because every image I've seen of it, even and not just this animated picture, this drawn, artistic rendition here, there are clouds hovering around this crystal. So this crystal's causing like evaporation, condensation, right? Like that's caused by heat again. So there's a radiance and a heat to this light that we don't really experience in terms of the light that we use today. So there's something different about this. It's very interesting.
There's a group of them, a pantheon everywhere. Is it just going to be that? Because that would be boring. How will light be different?
Yeah, Brett and Nimdax, yeah, that's not the tip of Sargar's sword. There's literally
No, it's not. That's been confirmed. It's
on
not the
website.
tip.
Everybody
yes.
thought it was that
Yeah.
because
Not just the
it
tip.
did look like that, and it was, we saw this screenshot like before we kind of got the full lore, but no, that is
Yeah.
a light shard.
Again, here's another image. This is an actual in-game image, right? This is not an artistic rendition. Clouds. Look at that. A swirl of clouds around this thing. Like it's radiating heat. That's what it looks like. There's something about this light that's different.
Yeah, that is a rock of light that fell from the sky thousands
Should have
of years
been the
ago
tip of
and
his
led
sword.
the Arathi. And this is the Arathi before the alliance existed.
been
This is
cool.
before this is before it split up into the different tribes and kingdoms. This is literally the earliest of humanity.
Yeah, they
Were led there
don't know this world. Now, one thing that's interesting, they do know the name Anduin. They do know that name because there was an Anduin back in the Arathi kingdom, right? There was a King Anduin. So it's interesting that now Anduin's back and his namesake is also showing up. The original origin of Anduin name in Warcraft, yeah, Anduin Lothar, right? Anduin Lothar, the hated king Laenrin of Stormwind. The original Anduin name comes from the Arathi land. Oh, I gotta find it, man. Anduin organized, peaceful. Yes. I'll figure it out. Where is it? Yes, the events of the Arathi Highlands. Here.
By
Play this.
visions of it falling from the sky and going to see it. I'm not sure if they were dead
What's up,
ancestors,
AJ?
like you said once.
Yeah, what sword?
Because that
exactly?
does draw a lot of parallels to Oshugan. Because Oshugan, obviously, that was an arrow inside a mountain.
Yep.
And all of the people went there because they were drawn by visions. So, basically, the thing I'm trying to say here, and this is the only thing we can really solidly go on, that isn't just speculating off the edge of it, is this story is about Naru. It's about the light and the void being opposite ends of the spectrum and interacting in a way. Because you use the shard of pure light to break the box, but then the little sliver left absorbs light. So it implies that. Jordan, yeah, the location is on the island, like a new island that will be off to the southwest. Off to the southwest of Kalimdor. And that's where the Arathi somehow made it there back in the day. So
Here it is. Yes, Anduin Lothar, who Anduin is named after, right? Anduin Lothar, Lion of Stormwind, was the last true descendant of the ancient Arathi bloodline, right? And that's who we're talking about here. That's who these people of Hallowfall are. They are of the ancient Arathi bloodline. So this Anduin name could have its origin dating back to the original Arathi people. And that's who we're going to go see. So I wonder, like, when Anduin shows up, when we show up to Hallowfall, and we call Anduin by his name, if these new Hallowfall people look at us and they're like, Anduin? Haven't heard that name in a long time. Like they recognize the name because it comes from the original Arathi bloodline. who these people come from. So to me, there's going to be. I think Anduin's really going to find himself in the Hallowfall. Like he's going to regain a lot of his faith in the light, this new light, whatever this light is, power, and figure out a lot about himself and his origin story and everything else.
That is just Naru stuff. And yeah, I did see that about Elune and the Warden armor being sun related and the day-night cycle and all of that stuff. I know obviously the moon is going to have sun related stuff in the Lunar Anshe. How they connect that to the traditionally human and Draenei Naru centric
Plus he's
light.
hot, yeah.
Can you imagine if they got Anshe to be the chuckler?
I would go. I would be upset.
No, but could you imagine if they like canonically slipped that in before they realized it was all a terrible idea?
Oh, I'm very happy.
That also does remind me, just because I brought up Anshe, Anshul, the Cosmic Wanderer.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I just said that. I don't know what that is.
It could be anything and it could be nothing. But it does obviously make you immediately
is
think.
it a harbinger from another world? Is it some sort of void? It's probably not a void lord. That wouldn't make much sense. But it's probably something important.
I mean,
Yeah.
the trinket is called Anshul, and the thing is summoned is called Anshul, which is a cosmic body of some sort. So,
Interesting.
Because you redirect its orbit,
Yeah.
which means it is a planet or,
there's-
or a celestial body. In the same way, Anshe is the sun.
Yeah.
That'll be a celestial body. So you could crash the sun on a planet. You could crash a void sun on a planet, and obviously a sun burning out and becoming whatever a sun comes and burns out. You know, obviously that's a
There's supernova.
Yeah.
black hole,
yeah
Right.
all of space stuff.
all the big science that
all of
happens.
the big space stuff. So there's an awful lot of that, but it is all boiling around to the same concept of void space, bad, good, light, Naru crystals. It's all that coalescing around like the things that they're doing here, even with like Xal'atath, and being Void Lord, being given the staff by Dimensius. Is okay, right? We're on to a place where we have a bunch of like light to shadow and shadow to light, but
Yeah.
voidy as opposed to old goddy, and quite specifically as opposed to old goddy. That's why they've changed it.
Let
So it
us
looks like
lay
an awful lot.
waste to this realm.
Thank you for the sub on YouTube. Welcome to our Scourge.
Lovecraftian tentacle.
That's a different
joy.
type of cosmic horror.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
I suppose what people traditionally think of.
Yeah, it's
with
not
your
it's,
boy
It's not
HP.
tentacles.
Got to be
roaming
some
around inside places.
relation
It's
between
now
all this stuff.
big stars and space and stuff. So it is.
Tentacles roaming around inside places.
Hentai.
I know what I
just
said.
threw that out there.
That's what's going on there. It's fun. I'm definitely looking forward to Dark Heart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Heart is gonna.
suppose we'll work
I think it could be the Dark Heart patch. Now, again, if you're wondering what the Dark Heart patch is, it's in 10.2.7. It's titled Dark Heart, and we have what's it called? Time Running Pandemonium, right? Pandemonium is what time. It's not time walking. It's time running pandemonium. It shows up in right here. Yes, this is from the whole layout map that Blizzard gave us. It's called Dark Heart, Time Running Pandemonium. I think this could be the moment where we see Xal'atath go into the SOD timeline. She's going to a Pandaria that's never been invaded by us, never been affected by any of the events that happened in retail, where the heart of Yasharaj still exists. That's pretty wild to me. That's what I think is going to happen. That basically solidifying and canonizing the SOD timeline in retail. Shit. That's wild.
Got a lot of the Harbinger stuff at that point.
If that wasn't Blizzard's plan, I hope they watch my video. They're like, oh, this guy's got a great plan. We're going to do it.
I suppose it's just will
do
we
it.
get anything from tier, learn anything more about.
Then
like,
if you hate on
titles
retail,
and
you hate on
maps
SOD. And if you hate on
very
SOD, you hate
soon.
on retail. They're
Then,
connected
with Season of Discovery
At the
and
tip.
Xal'atath
of the sword.
Is it the sort of thing where you kind of just leave this? Because even Black Fathom Deeps, that was one of our early old god spots.
That's
You're getting
yeah.
those whispers. You now have Xal'atath being.
That's
here.
right.
It's probably all hyper intentional because that's where you get the void touch thing from there. That's where that's where all of this starts.
Yeah.
There's void stuff in there somewhere.
What about the next
Yes, I'm saying
stages?
that's exactly what I'm
Karazhan
saying.
Crypts.
SOD
Medivh's back,
is
boy,
an
let's go.
alternate
Karazhan
timeline.
Crypts. Fucking locus of all these ley lines. Which, I mean, come on. Could be something in Karazhan Crypts. If they
Yeah,
do
what's the next one?
Scarlet Monastery and stuff.
The next one's Nomergon. I don't know if there's much in there.
True.
That seems a bit.
Yeah, Nomergon raid.
Because
Yeah.
we've got new raid and we've got endgame activities. So who knows? Who knows? Good luck.
Because this is the way they continue. Like Season of Discovery it was originally like up to a level 60 thing, but they have new end game content coming after 60, which is fine if you consider Season of Discovery as an alternate timeline. It continues on without the Burning Legion stuff going on, without Burning Crusade happening, without Pandaria happening, without Cataclysm happening. It's an alternate timeline where these things don't happen. An alternate
Yeah, it
timeline that
depends.
could be useful to Xal'atath and her plan. Because this old god stuff hasn't been destroyed.
When
The heart
that
still
new,
exists.
Raid
The
of
dark
Rings
heart
comes out.
still exists.
Here, yeah, this will be.
What do you think level 50 would be?
What the hell does Nomer
I literally
have to
know
do? What the fuck does Nomer have to do
could
with the
be
void?
anything.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just,
I
leopard
mean,
gnomes.
right.
Dangerous
If
stuff.
it is the crypts, that actually blows a lot of stuff open because Karazhan is insane. Fundamentally, as a place, Karazhan is insane. The things that have happened in
terms of
Karazhan
lore, yeah.
are insane.
Oh, yeah.
And also, if it gave you any... Actually, if there would be anything in those crypts to do with Medivh, that could be very relevant to the future as well.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
it won't be relevant to the future in the if you don't play Season of Discovery, you're missing out on lore. It'll be stuff for us to look and go, oh, interesting. We'll pick away at little bits here and there, like we have with this.
Yeah.
And it's all like thematic relevance coming in together, or the same idea, kind of, because like there's nothing new there, and it's not like what do you call it? Yes, 50 is
You know, like, I don't know, like, how Karazhan could be related to all this is maybe Xal'atath does something where she prevents Medivh, because in order to open the portal to the Outland, Medivh has to channel it from our side. That's how that works. That's how that portal worked. If she stops him from doing that, then, in essence, you don't get a Burning Crusade. You also don't get orcs, but that's the original opening. I'm talking about the reopening where we had Illidan and you know, the whole Burning Crusade expansion. If she prevents that expansion from happening, she prevents a lot of things from happening, and prevents us probably from eventually ending up in Pandaria. Crazy shit.
Scarlet stuff, I think.
We've already had alternate
Delta
timelines
Scarlet
exist.
stuff.
People
Oh, yeah.
people said in my video where I talked about this before, people were like, you can't do that, you're breaking a fourth wall. What the hell is WAD? What is WAD? WAD is literally an alternate timeline that coexists with our timeline, where there's literal characters that are dead in ours that exist in that one, and the two timelines collided, right? You were able to bring an army through that timeline. Like, that stuff already happened. We're not breaking a fourth wall. Blizzard's literally done this before. The thing they haven't done is having players legitimately living and playing in an alternate timeline, like SOD. That's what's wild about this. For this to happen, it's not breaking a fourth, doing something that hasn't been done before. It's just doing it in a different way, in a cooler way. I hope. they
Which
do
is
it,
obviously
man.
light.
Yeah.
hope they
And
do
it could be could draw parallels to the Hallowfall Arathi being the Holy Fire people. And
Karazhan
then
is linked to the Twisting Line.
Kara's
No,
probably
yes.
the new 60, probably. So it doesn't say new.
That's why it's
rated
linked to
60,
everything,
But it does
yeah.
say in-game activity, so God knows what that means. Maybe they just don't want to confirm it until it's ready or done.
Karazhan's on
But
all the
yeah,
ley lines
that's,
for
Karazhan's new
Azeroth.
60 would be real cool. Okay,
That'd be
cool. So they can use this to do some fun teasers and world building, but that's all I think it
Karazhan
ever
is
should
anchored
be.
to the Nether Space.
Yes,
Yes.
Discovery.
like, yeah.
And I think what they've done here with this is just really good. It's
Yep.
tasteful. It's not a
great.
load of bollocks. It's just nice. I don't know. It's acknowledging, I suppose, the larger world and how it is now, but it's still feeling like something that happens.
So
in
different
classic.
events happening in
It's
SOD.
like the, Let's
is
Inframe
indeed
that
an
was
alternate
found for
timeline.
this.
Yes, for sure.
What's happened here is we've found small things that that kind of go, oh well, this stuff's been happening for a while. We just didn't see it before, without actually changing the events at all.
Crazy, man. Crazy to think that all this could be related and that they're connecting the two timelines. This is exciting to me. As the Pandaria music reaches a crescendo. I, again, released a video about this before. The WoW multiverse, right? Blizzard is setting up a multiverse crossover event That's what I think is going to happen. I could link this video to you guys in chat if you haven't seen it before. But I did get into the same thing where I talked about how these two... Now, the thing that I didn't talk about is that light crystal. I had no idea that was right behind her and how that's all connected. But I definitely think Blizzard is setting... The more I think about it, the more I think, man, what a cool way for Blizzard to you know, two right now parties that are very opposite each other. The SOD people, the people who play Season of Discovery, and the people who play retail. But imagine if you connected the two, you'd kind of incentivize people to play both. And how that's a W for Blizzard. It's a W for the lore. It's a W for Blizzard, and it'll reunite the player base. How exciting is that? I hope this happens, man. I really do, and I think it'd be a great idea.